In 5, 4, 3. I just did the Wayne's World intro. Alright, in 5. Hey everybody, and welcome back. I'm D-Train.
You're Juan-aconda. I'm D-Train.
And we're the Juan-aconda and D-Train show. How's everybody doing? And it's funny we had that sort of intro there because today's show is all about alternate realities. What do you think of alternate realities there?
I don't know. I mean, I think you have to give me a little bit of a brief overview as to this one. I think either you or Google is going to give us the starting point as to what alternate realities are.
I'm so glad you asked.
I feel like it's a parallel universe, but I don't know if that is what it really is it?
Well, so I don't disagree with you.
Okay, so it is on the train of a parallel universe. Like there's another Dan out there on some other planet or place doing Dan shit, D-Train shit. Okay,
so
that's something that I truly feel like could possibly be it. And D-Train could actually be a girl, for all I know.
All right,
you don't know.
D-Train probably is a girl. Let's see here. On Google, we went to Google search and just slapped in there, what are alternate realities? And the description that pops up is parallel universes in fiction. And it says a parallel universe, also known as alternate universe or alternate reality, is a hypothetical, self-contained plane of existence coexisting with one's own. The sum of all potential parallel universes that constitute reality is often called a multiverse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard multiverse. Why is there a picture of a donut?
That was going to be my next question.
What is that? Is he holding the earth or something? What the hell is he holding?
It looks like people.
Okay,
so in an alternate reality, this donut with sprinkles is eating people instead of people eating a donut.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Thank you, Google.
I do like that. That was actually kind of funny. All right.
I like where your head's at with what are alternate realities or parallel universes, right? Well, I like to take it back, like we did in our show on dreams. I like to take it back to the ancients, right? The people of old, where we now are supposedly the smartest and bestest we've ever been in all of society. I like to bring it back a few thousand years, just to let you know where their head was at then.
So you got some Confucius or some Buddhism shit?
No. Have you ever heard of Plato?
Yeah, of course.
Have you ever heard of Plato's Allegory?
No.
Of the cave?
No.
All right. So,
obviously someone did some research on this one.
Well, you want to talk about something, buddy. So when you mentioned alternate realities and alternate universes, it got me thinking about, okay, in everything that we've seen, a doctor who ends up putting on this helmet, right? And he can feel everybody else's pain and everybody else's pleasure. And so
in Black Mirror?
Mm-hmm. There was an episode, it was in the first season of Black Mirror. This doctor ends up designing this helmet that fits over his head because he's a surgeon, so he can actually diagnose patients better. So, I've got this condition, this condition.
Yes! Now I remember that one. Okay. Yeah.
So, before we jump into alternate realities of the past, we're going to dabble here in the near future right now. Okay. So, in that episode of Black Mirror, they're able to build this helmet where you put on and he can diagnose people better. He's a better surgeon. He's a better doctor, right?
And then he has that kind of euphoric feel every time people are like dying or whatever. Like he gets off on it,
right?
Like, I mean, it tickles his balls.
And then he makes one for his wife or girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And she wears one, and then he can feel her orgasms the same time he feels
so
his
right.
orgasms,
I forgot
right?
about that. Yeah.
So, and that came out what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Probably. I would put it like maybe 4 years ago. Not that long ago.
Okay.
Because there's only 4 seasons, I want to say.
So it's already been made. It's made by Elon Musk from Tesla. It's called Neuralink.
In which you can put on this helmet or whatever and feel the other person's emotions.
If it was only that easy that we could strap on a VR head device and then feel other people's feelings and emotions, right?
Was this like an implant? Oh, an implant. Yep. Neuralink brain implant working in a pig.
So they've developed a pretty bulky rudimentary device that syncs up to your brain.
All right.
Okay. But they also have nanotechnology.
Yeah.
And they could inject the neural link into your body, and then you have a coating over your entire brain, inside of your brain, to where you can now instantaneously search the internet. You can watch whatever show you want. You can order whatever you want off of Grubhub by just thinking about it. How cool does that sound?
I mean, I guess for a convenience factor, that's kind of cool, but it's just like, I really don't want anyone up in my head except for Dan up in my head.
And that's the thing that people aren't thinking about.
I think I'll take a hard pass on that.
Well, here's the thing that people aren't thinking about, right? As cool as it would be to make love to your wife and you are both sharing each other's pleasure and passion at the same time. She can feel your orgasm, you can feel her orgasm, right?
Yeah.
The selling features on this are incredible. But it's like you said, I don't want anybody in my head. And people say, well, they wouldn't get in your head. Well, the internet and a cell phone or a telephone or any of this technology everywhere, even though we, the public, are being softly introduced to it. So in the reality that we were shown on Black Mirror, which was paid for, produced, written, edited, all put together to show the public the technologies that are there.
Yes.
Fast forward 2 years, these patents have already been in development for over 5 years. Elon Musk was talking about Neuralink and syncing our brains 5 years ago. And now we already have this technology. It's just a matter of the FDA approving it. Now, that's not hard for them to do.
No.
All that needs to happen is a certain person who controls all of the military and everything known as the President of the United States also picks the head of the FDA.
Yeah.
Also picks the head of the CDC. Also picks the head of all these other organizations, right?
Yeah.
Well, again, there's a lot of people who don't like the current decision maker.
Yeah.
And they want him out.
Yeah. I'm one of them, but yeah.
And the same people who want to design and develop a neural link and install it in your brain and have the FDA say it's good are the same people that want this bad person out of office. And that's one of the portions that we're not connected in this current reality is Elon Musk seems like a really awesome guy, right? He developed PayPal.
He did PayPal? I don't know.
He made his money off of PayPal, okay?
I didn't know that.
Exactly.
Right.
But he's also the son of a billionaire.
You know what? Elon Musk, I gotta give him some power. Definitely thinking outside the box. He scares me, though. Like, I mean, he's coming up with some shit that it just, like, it's not just cars.
No, it's not.
And even just the self-driving car, it's like, nah, it's a little dicey. Would I want to go chill in the back and take a nap while the car's driving itself? Yeah, that sounds awesome. That sounds like something I would always love. Do I trust the car? I don't know if I trust it with my life.
Well, here's the thing that we're not thinking about, right? The same people that developed computer software are the same people that developed the computer software virus and then sold us the antivirus software.
Oh, yeah.
So what's to say that this is pushed on humanity, and if we're going to compete with artificial intelligence and we want to be the smartest species we've ever been, that we need to sync up to all this man-made silicone technology by putting in this Neuralink, right?
Yeah.
They sell it. It's like the new iPhone, right? It's like 5G, but you're in 5G, right?
Yeah,
You're a part of the internet. And then one day somebody puts a virus in that.
Oh, then it's just like, yeah, all of a sudden your brain just starts, who knows, melting or
and here's
whatever.
the thing, is it's not transmitted via sex, it's not transmitted via coughs, it's not transmitted via sneezes, and wearing any sort of physical protection, whether it's a mask or goggles or anything, won't save you.
Hell no, that's a Bluetooth that's in your fucking head right there.
That's everywhere on the globe. And here's the crazy thing about Elon Musk is at the same time he's pushing this Neuralink, he's launching all these miniature micro satellites into space.
Yeah.
So we can have internet all over the globe. So people in Africa who are still slaves that swim and hold their breath to get the crystals we need to run our cell phones, they're going to have fucking internet now, bro. They don't have a cell phone.
Ooh, snap.
They're dying by the thousands to retrieve stones so that they can then go to China, and China can then manufacture the iPhones for Apple because Apple got a deal to ship their company over there instead of making them here and creating jobs here. But that's a whole nother reality.
Yeah.
Because back again, so we have Elon Musk developing technology that mirrors things that we've been shown in television that are now right here, front page news. It took Google less than 0.59 seconds to find 4.42 million searches on Elon Musk's Neuralink.
Well, here the crazy thing is TMZ dropped something and another person dropped something. One says 2 hours ago from TMZ. The other one
That's
was
crazy.
Like
Okay.
CLNet or whatever. That was 4 hours ago.
So let's pull this up real quick. So
we're getting a little off subject here, but let's keep going. Let's see what we got.
All right. So regardless, this is now becoming more prevalent and in your face, right?
Yeah.
How are they going to sell it? Oh, the reality that you're living in is oh so terribly bad that the only way we can fix it is by all of us syncing up to this one computer.
Yeah. It's like, I think I'm kind of good on that one.
Let's see. TMZ right here from 2 hours ago, August 29th at 8:41 prime time. Elon Musk, we implanted computer chip in a pig's brain and it works. Brave New World is close to reality because he just unveiled his latest triumph. A pig that responds to prompts after getting a computer chip placed in its brain. The pig's name is Gertrude, and this could be a precursor to chips being placed in the brains of humans. Now, here's the craziest thing is, this is coming from the 30-mile zone. Their specialty is supposed to be famous people and Oscars and Hollywood. Okay, why is TMZ, who has the attention of a large demographic of heavily influenced people who can't think outside the box, why is TMZ reporting this and not NBC, ABC, CBS? Why are the educated masses who pay all the bills for everybody and support everything for everybody, why is it going to the dumb dipshits who are influenced by Black Lives Matter and LeBron James and Katy Perry and who's this whore, Megan Thee Stallion?
Meg Thee
Stallion. So the same people who love all of the mainstream bullshit are the first ones to hear about the new thing that they can shove into their brain.
They're letting everyone know that this is out there and it's not too fucking far away on that one. I do love me some TMZ. Oh yeah, did you see that?
Somebody died of cancer from
Chadwick Boseman.
Really?
Yeah, Black Panther.
Oh, really?
Don't even start. Don't even
start.
Don't even start with your fucking inside scooping, fucking craziness and everything else. Motherfucker died of cancer.
Yeah.
Okay. Can't really control that. And we both know someone that did the same thing too.
Yeah. No, my mom died of cancer.
Yes.
And she didn't listen to me either.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So don't even think this is some fucking conspiracy there. And we're going to get back to our original thing. You were talking about Plato's allegory of the cave.
So back to alternate realities.
Realities. This is a tangent, but all right. What we got?
Allegory of the Cave is a book by Plato. And basically... So Plato was known as one of the world's greatest philosophers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, all of them.
Long story short, and there's a short video on YouTube by TEDx, and it's Plato's Allegory of the Cave, explained by Alex Gendler. And basically, what it states is let's say you, me, and Max, right? We all three of us wake up in a cave. And we're chained together, and we have no idea how we got there. I can't remember who I am. You can't remember who you are. Max can't remember who he is. We're completely, have no idea what's going on.
We got roofied.
Okay, in this story, it presents that it's Plato's philosophy is, what is reality?
Okay, I got you.
So his allegory of the cave, right, is... If these people are in a cave and they have no idea that anything else exists beyond this cave, they have no idea of outside, they don't know trees, they don't know sun, they don't know anything about it because they've never seen it, it doesn't exist to them, right? Yeah. And all they see is this faint flickering light that keeps hitting this wall, and then they see something run by, right? Or something go this way or something go that way. So your mind begins to create these ideas of these things that you're seeing, but you can't fully grasp what it is that you're seeing because it's only a shadow. Right? So these people in the cave, these three gentlemen begin to freak out because they don't know what's going on. So Plato, from however long ago, let's see, when was this written?
He was definitely...
A. So AD. So 1,500 years ago.
Yeah.
So the human mind and the consciousness of 1,500 years ago, where we had no formal electricity, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have any of this shit that we have today, are theorizing about the reality that we're living in, and he's not incorrect. Like, there's another one. I'll have to look. Let me look it up real quick. It's about the cat in the box. It's a German German therapist, Schrodinger's
cat.
Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah.
So, again, another perception of reality. Schrodinger's cat is a thought experiment, sometimes described as a paradox, devised by Australian-Irish physicist Erwin Schrödinger. Austrian, sorry.
Yes.
In 1935, the discussion with Albert Einstein illustrates he saw a problem with Copenhagen's interpretation of quantum mechanics applied to everyday objects. So, even though we're using the words quantum mechanics, this is still we're still using this to describe reality and alternate realities, right?
Okay, in Schrodinger's imaginary experiment, you place a cat in a box with a tiny bit of radioactive substance. Jesus, okay. When the radioactive substance decays, it triggers a Geiger
counter, yep.
A Geiger counter, which causes a poison or explosion to be released that kills the cat. The cat ends up both dead and alive at the same time. What the fuck? I don't really understand that one, but all right.
Okay, let me bring it down into the way I can understand it, right?
Okay.
Because I've got like the capacity of a 5-year-old. Okay, so I try and break things down into as simplified as I can understand.
The cat dies, but then it still lives.
Okay, Schrodinger's perception is let's say we don't put the cat in the box with the radioactive material, right? Yeah. Let's say we take a box. And I tell you here's a, let's say this is a box, right?
Yeah.
And I tell you there's a cat in there. But the cat can be whatever you want it to be. It could be black, it could be spotted, it could be striped, it could be a kitten, it could be a big black cat, it could be a tiger, it could be whatever that cat is that you believe that it is.
Okay.
And then I think it's a black cat, right?
Yeah.
At the same time that there's a cat in this box, quantum physics, it basically says that what you think and believe exists inside this box and what I think and believe exists inside this box all at the same time. It only comes down to the perceiver of reality.
Oh, I get you.
So the cat is alive and the cat is dead all at the same time because
it's whatever you perceive it to be.
It all comes out to the observer, right? So if you, let's say, went to nuclear school and you learned about radioactive material and Geiger counters and all this stuff, and you knew that if you put an infinitesimal amount of radioactive material next to any sort of living thing, that it would cease its life, right?
Yes.
And let's say I knew nothing about that, and you told me I put a cat in a box with this stuff, and I think, okay, cat's going to be fine. But based off of your...
die.
Right? But both of us are right.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying on that one.
So that wraps into...
That's some crazy philosophy shit right there. Yeah.
So that ties into the reality that we are experiencing in America currently during any political front.
Whether it's your viewpoint is your viewpoint, my viewpoint is my viewpoint of whatever this reality is.
Okay, so... It is, yes, you are right about that. It is my viewpoint and your viewpoint of the reality that we're perceiving, and both of them exist.
Okay.
Both of them are taking place.
Okay.
However, each of these realities has a talking, singing, dancing, moving, acting, flipping, backflipping. So my reality is less influenced off of the current paradigm of politics because I consume very little of the talking, dancing cat in the box.
And I'm the complete opposite, where it's just like I see that dancing cat in box, and I tell everyone, "Hey, did you see about this on the talking,
right?"
Dancing
and somebody else says, "Yeah, I saw the dancing, talking cat."
Exactly.
And the two of you are either going to say, "I hate that fucking cat,"
yeah,
or you're going to say, one of them's going to say, "I like the cat," or the other one's going to say, "I hate the cat,"
and
right?
then there's
So when we're talking about realities and alternate realities and alternate universes, they all exist all at the same time, all at the same place. So, per Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, per Schrodinger's explanations of quantum physics, right? And then quantum physics has this idea of string theory where everything and anything is absolutely connected. However, they haven't developed the technology to then measure it to prove it to everybody, right?
Yeah.
But we know
Did you ever see the movie Donnie Darko?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, or remember that time where it was just like, it was like that crazy abyss, you know, like the movie, the fucking The Abyss, where it's like comes out of the water and it's like a fucking thing or whatever. And that string is, it like comes out of his chest and he's just like, what the fuck is this thing? And it's just like that bubbly, foggy, watery motherfucker kind of deal. And it's just like, oh, I guess I gotta follow this. And it's just like, that's that string theory where it's just like, okay, you follow this and that's your string, but then it can change again. And it just like, it'll take you so far, but it could split. It could have that fork in the road, and you could either go with it or not go with it, and that's how they can't measure this kind of shit, too.
Right.
Like, I mean...
So...
I just thought about that Donnie Darko shit. That was just like, whoa! And then, at the end, he dies. Oh, fuck. I think I need to see that movie again. I remember it was really good and really dark.
Let me pull the synopsis, because I hardly remember it. Donnie... Is it... N-N-I-E or N-N-Y?
Yes. It should pop right up.
Darko. Let's see here. Oh, it's showtimes for Donnie Darko.
Oh, it's on Tubi TV. Yeah, alright, cool.
Donnie Darko from 2001. Okay, I don't really...
You should check it out. It's pretty good. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal in it. It's old school.
I remember Jake Gyllenhaal.
And then his gross sister,
Maggie Gyllenhaal, Drew Barrymore. Okay, so it's got a bunch of famous people from our generation. It says, during the presidential election of 1988, a teenager named Donnie Darko sleepwalks out of his house one night and sees a giant demonic-looking rabbit named Frank, who tells him the world will end in 28 days. Funny, what was that movie with, well, there's another movie called 28 Days, and then...
28 weeks later? Yeah. Oh, you know when I love me some zombie apocalypse shit. Yeah.
So, again, these numbers, like the number 33, the number 28... Oh,
you're going to break down to what's 28? What's 28?
I'm not. I'm just saying, it's funny that they put that in there. All right. So, when Donnie returns home, he finds that a jet engine has crashed into his bedroom. Is Donnie living in a parallel universe, or is he suffering from mental illness?
Oh my god! All right, yeah, I'm totally gonna check that shit out tonight.
All right, I'm gonna watch it too.
Yeah, like I've got to. It was a great movie.
I somewhat remember it was like the psycho rabbit was like telling him to do stuff or something.
He's creepy as fuck too.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, creepy as fuck.
So, and I think Donnie Darko kind of touches on.
Wow, you can watch at the Alamo Draft House.
Yeah. Sloan's Lake.
That's cool.
Well, dude, Hollywood's not producing shit.
They're not producing shit, so they got to throw out some fucking old movies, which sucks because I want to go to the damn drive-in. There's like Ghostbusters and Jumanji, and it's like, all right, I like both of them, but I'm like, I don't really want to go and get bit by bugs at the damn drive-in for a fucking movie. The two movies I've already seen 10 million times.
Yeah, no, you don't want to see that.
No, I'm kind of good on that one.
So I think with Donnie Darko kind of touches on a form of schizophrenia.
Okay. Yeah, he does kind of have that form. If I remember right, he's taking meds in there too because he was bipolar. And like, I mean,
so he was.
I think so. Okay, if I remember right.
So we'll watch. I'll watch it tonight.
I gotta check that joint out. Yeah, for sure. But I do remember where it was just like it's a really good movie. Like, let's smoke a bowl, check that shit out. It just like it's kind of like a little bit of a mind fuck right there, where you're like, wow, that's very good. Holy shit, what really happened? Kind of deal.
Nice. Check out Donnie Darko tonight and do a synopsis, but I think it touches a little bit on schizophrenia and bipolarism. Now, it's funny. People who have schizophrenia in Western society are deemed certified crazy. They're put on all these medications.
Yeah, bipolar medicines and shit like that. Yeah.
I've watched quite a few documentaries over the last 5 years, and some of those documentaries I watched were about spirituality and metaphysics and all these natural ancient forms of healing. And throughout ancient history, all throughout all ancient civilizations, they all have one thing in common: a shaman.
Okay.
Sort of like a medicine man, right?
Yeah, like a healer. I mean, he comes with his snake oil and fucking heals people. But at the same time, like, I mean, I believe in medicine, and I believe in modern medicine, and I believe in ancient medicine, like, or whatever I guess you could call it. You know, that's, you know, you have this bark and you put it on a burn and it just like it heals it. I totally believe that there is shit all over this planet that can heal damn near anything.
Well, you work in CBD, right?
I do.
So you understand the value of plant medicine.
Yes,
okay?
I definitely do.
So with these in all these ancient societies, everybody has in common the shaman, right?
Yeah.
Well, schizophrenia has been prevalent throughout history.
Yeah.
It's always been there.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
However, in ancient times, when little Timmy or little Tammy, if one of those little children started hearing voices or seeing things,
They thought she was crazy.
no, they took her to the shaman, and the shaman took them under their wing, and they became shamans. Now you're thinking, why would they do that? That seems like
I guess I'm thinking of like the Spanish Inquisition and fucking witchery and shit like that.
That's
where
later,
They
right?
started burning shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
they started burning motherfuckers.
So, ancient times, if you heard voices or you saw things, instead of being deemed crazy and cast out of society, you were seen as being something very special, something that was gifted, and then you went to become this next shaman, the next healer of this community.
You know how fucked up it would be if you are just like batshit crazy and then they just put you as a shaman and you're just like, you're still batshit fucking crazy.
I agree with you that would be funny. Now, here's the crazy thing about shamans that they don't tell us about. Shamans, what they do is they journey into alternate realities and universes to then heal your problem.
Okay.
They can pull the cancer energy from you, right? They have this ability to transcend reality, access alternate dimensions and realities to help people, to help society, to change the course or outcome of history.
Are you talking about like meditation and being able to like, or are you talking about the physical aspects, like where they're able to mix the elixirs to help that person?
So,
which way are you going on this?
so-
Are you going into the mind, or are you talking about the physical?
Well, so they have ceremonies and traditions that they do in the physical, right? Like beating a drum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, is very ancient and very tradition. Well, that methodical beat sets a tempo to where you can then transcend this physical reality with your mind, right? Your body will still be present in front of those that you see. However, they can transcend this conscious reality, access an alternate reality, perform something, and come back, and it changes the outcome for the person that they're working with. It's called journeying, is what they call it. So every time you sit down and you imagine something, right? Oh, I wish I could have a Ferrari, right? And a mansion. When you imagine that happening, it's actually happening. But you only think of it as an imaginary thing. So, is there an alternate Dan in an alternate universe that has long, flowy Fabio hair and big buff muscles and a dope car with 30 chicks that love handing out BJs and beers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it exists.
That sounds lit.
However, in all of life and all of existence that all serves a purpose, that doesn't teach you anything.
Okay.
And ultimately, none of it's a waste, right?
So do you think, okay, so in this alternate reality where everything is just whatever you want it to, say like right now, it's just like, you just said that right there, and it's just like, that sounds that sounds great, that sounds amazing. Do you think it just got created in another universe? Because we just put it out there. Do you think it just like all of a sudden created? Their D-Train just came up out of the blue or whatever, and like, I mean, and like, I mean, he's living that life just because we just said that, we put that in the universe. Do you think it just like magic, like a fucking rabbit out of a hat?
I believe it. Yes, I do.
I could see that. That's crazy.
And here's how I can tie it all together for those who don't believe, right?
Yeah.
When we're going along and trudging on along with our lives and doing our thing, all of a sudden, Hollywood or the mainstream throws a new character in front of our faces we've never heard of before, like Cardi B or Justin Bieber, right? These people came out of nowhere, and we've never heard of them, and then boom, here's this person that's got all the fame, all the glory, all this, all that, in that reality.
You think on that other planet, someone was just thinking about that young Bieber was just thinking about that, and then all of a sudden on this reality, on this planet, he just appeared?
I think it is a possibility because we want to think of the conventional ways of how life is it happens, right?
Yeah.
That we have to, you have to have an act of consummation to, form a life, right? Well, there's there's groups of endangered species on this planet that have just vanished.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 100 years later,
that is true.
And it's like, okay, where did it come from, right?
Did you see that old ass turtle that he's in retirement?
Yeah, he made it like 5 miles or something over a month. Yeah,
like,
dude,
there's like 500 little turtles.
He's like, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm never coming back. He was like less than a mile away over like 5 days or something. Yeah, I saw that. Like it's okay. And I'm glad you brought up tortoises, right? Mm-hmm. So tortoises can live 300 to 500 years.
Yeah, they live a long ass time.
There's a turtle, a tortoise. I forget his name. He's famous. He's in the Galapagos somewhere, right? He's lived through. He was around during the Civil War, right? He was there World War I, World War II. All of these different wars, all of this different chaos, all these different things happening around this turtle, right? But was it 300 years for that turtle, or has it been a month? Has it been a year for that turtle? How does that turtle perceive reality versus us perceiving reality?
Well, he doesn't think about time. He just thinks about, hey, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat a little something here. Hey, that little girl turtle looks horny, so I'm going to go fuck her kind of deal.
It's going to take me 6 months,
yeah,
but I'm going to get there.
Yeah, I mean, animals have a completely different, like, I don't know, thought process on things. And I wonder, honestly, how Oscar, the wiener dog here, I wonder what he thinks about and shit like that.
And that's good that you do, because animals do have a different perception of reality, but they're in the same reality that we're in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So dolphins, for example, are much more intelligent.
Oh, way more intelligent.
Than human beings.
Yeah.
Just because we can't communicate directly with them doesn't mean that they don't hold some sort of importance in this reality, right? I've heard through my, time into looking into the past and trying to evaluate the reality that we're living in, there's a lot of ancient documentation that talks about how the whales on the planet are the timekeepers. They hold the memories of all of Earth's experiences. So every earthquake, every volcano, every explosion, every time we dropped a nuclear bomb in the ocean to see what would happen.
So you think that when they talk to each other, they're just like, hey, remember when that earthquake happened or whatever? It was just like, I mean, it should happen. I don't know, maybe there's a life cycle where it's just like, earthquakes and volcanoes popping up from the ocean and everything else, and it's just like, oh, cool, hey, it's been about 500 years and we should have another earthquake over on this section of the planet.
Yeah, let's veer away from our breeding season in California this year and Oregon and Washington, because the Cascadia subduction zone's slipping, so we're going to go, out towards Hawaii or further north so we don't get, affected by this massive tsunami.
I could see that shit.
And the human response is, oh, we fucked shit up. The whales aren't going in their normal direction, right? So in the reality that we're living in, humanity thinks that it's separate and sentient from all other things in its reality. What if the only thing that's holding humanity back from the ultimate achievement in human history, what if the only thing that's holding us back is this idea of separation? What if we removed that idea of separation from this reality, I think it would shift everything within the reality, because every time they drop a bomb, or every time they blow somebody up, or every time they do something that harms somebody else, right? That's all being presented in this reality to maintain the status quo of hatred, division, and fear.
Okay.
Right? And it's coming out of Schrodinger's box, the talking, walking, dancing cat, right?
Yeah. I
turned off the cat because I got to the point where I was literally at 7 o'clock in the morning getting the kids ready for school, getting ready to go do, our thing for the day. I'm on Twitter yelling at the news anchor people because
that shit. Yeah.
within less than 24 hours, and this was prior to Trump, and I'm not paying on any administration. This is when I started to catch on to things. Is they'd talk about the job numbers, like on a Monday, and they'd report that the job numbers are up 4.5% in this market, and then literally within 24 hours, they would report the exact opposite of what they just said. And I caught them in it. and it really started pissing me off, right? So then I turned it off. I turned off the noise. I turned it off. It was making me mad. It was adjusting how I was in this reality. Imagine that all the bullshit that's coming through Schrodinger's cat right now, because the cat just wants the attention. What if it's all bullshit? What if this reality that we're getting ready to take on is ultimate freedom for everyone, right? And no fear. There's always danger. Danger's always real, but there's no fear of death. There's no fear of ISIS. There's no fear of a virus.
You actually think that it would? You think that's going to happen?
I mean,
that would be nice, in which we're not afraid of all this kind of shit.
Well, fear is a choice, right?
Fear is definitely a choice.
So I know that danger is real, but I know that fear is a choice.
Yeah.
So I could choose to be afraid of something I can't see.
Yeah.
And always constantly be worried about it, be paranoid about it, looking over my shoulder, wondering, staring, you know.
I get it. Like, you hope and fear that nothing happens to your children and wife.
Right.
I feel the same way. Like, I mean, I hope to God nothing ever happens to, my kid and my wife. Like, I mean, that is a fear.
But I also know that whatever is going to be.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah.
So I could live in fear that maybe one day I'll have something happen to me, and I broke my leg, or I broke my arm, or I cut my finger open on a food processor, right?
Yeah.
I gotta have this fear of a food processor my entire time.
Yeah.
And never use the food processor. Let's paint an example, right? Let's say I'm the next master chef. I'm the next Gordon Ramsay. I'm the next to come out of nowhere to create these amazing, delicious things, right?
But because you cut your finger, you're never going to go in that direction.
Not even that. Let's say because somebody told me how dangerous the food processor is, and I'm so afraid of getting cut that I never even veer in towards using knives or cooking, right?
That's crazy, of what could be because of something that happened or because of what was said.
Right?
Yeah.
So
that is crazy shit.
Now imagine that fear has been in me since I was 10 years old, right? I figured out how to cook things without cutting them or and the basis is there, but I decide, I'm really afraid of knives and sharp things. I'm going to go be an accountant.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, what are you going to be, an accountant?
An accountant, right? So it's like I have this passion.
You're going to have a paper cut, that's it.
Right? That's like, even a paper cut sends me into anxiety and overload, right? But all I have to do is overcome that fear.
Yeah.
And everything that is supposed to be is mine. Mm-hmm. Now,
I'm a big firm believer in conquering fears. I guess if you can, but I feel like everyone who has that fear of heights or that fear of, I don't know, claustrophobia or, I don't know, like any of those kind of fears, it's just like, you should try to make that attempt to just be like, come face to face with that danger, that fear, that death, that whatever, and just be like, I'm not going to let you control me. I'm not afraid of heights. But I am kind of scared of extreme heights.
Dude, you jumped out of a plane with me.
And that's what I'm saying. We jumped out of a plane. When I looked at that plane, I'm like, oh, fuck. And there's no turning back.
No.
I'm strapped to this homie. It's just like, hey, we're going to barrel roll out of this bitch. And it's just like, okay, fine, let's just do it. And I jumped out.
Right?
Yeah.
So you overcame a fear by saying, fuck it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And you lived through it.
Yeah.
And you had the ultimate experience of free falling through. Literally, it was snowing.
Oh, dude, that
and
the
hitting
clouds,
our face.
It was crazy.
It was incredible.
We could not see the ground because it was just cloud covered.
It was incredible.
I didn't think we were going that fucking high.
Oh, yeah.
We went high.
You gotta have enough time for the shoot.
I guess that's true. I guess that's kind of true on that one. Would I do it again? Probably not. But it was such a rush, such an experience that I will never ever forget it.
And so
I will never forget.
You created that memory, you created that emotion, you created that feeling, you created that vibration. You did something you would normally do in your reality, and it pushed you to face a fear and not be afraid to face other fears, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's shift all of that over to mainstream television.
Of course.
Because we have to.
Of course.
Here's the thing is, all of these people are so afraid of something they can't see.
Yeah.
That they're literally doing whatever they're told to do, and if you don't do what they're being told to do, they're going to attack you over something they can't see. Now, that's where I stop on the mainstream shit and any of that. But just on that bit of reality, of fucking bullshit. Because, again, more people die of many other things besides what we've been sold.
All right.
Billions of deaths.
I mean, I still believe, there is something out there, and I'm not afraid of it, but I'm going to be cautious about that. I don't want anyone coughing on me or anything.
Prior to this bullshit happening, you didn't want anybody to cough on you. You didn't want anybody to sneeze on you. You washed your hands. You cleaned your shit. Yeah. You lived a healthy, sanitary life.
Yeah.
So there's nothing for you to fucking be afraid of.
No, not at all.
However, all of these people jumped into compliance. What reality is trying to be pushed upon us, right? Mm-hmm. What reality that's... Because, again, we're all experiencing this reality, but there are these hands pulling these strings, right? Yeah, exit stage left. I'm going to need so-and-so to come in on stage right?
It's the Wizard of Oz. It's that motherfucker pulling the strings, you know?
Exactly.
There's always going to be that. There's always that. There's always someone that is controlling something. Whether it be government, money, whatever. There's always something that is controlling even people.
Okay.
North Korea, it's just I shudder to think what their fucking reality is.
North Korea is fucked up.
Yeah, North Korea is fucked up.
But when you go and look at the history of North Korea and who finances North Korea and who sent the current dictator, out of North Korea to go to school in Sweden with all these white Europeans. Russia? No.
America?
Kim Jong-il, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, or whoever... He went to school in Sweden.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He didn't grow up in North Korea. He didn't go under all that. They sent him to Sweden. What's in Sweden?
I don't know. Delicious chocolate?
No.
Beautiful women?
And the funny thing about the Swiss chocolate is all that cacao comes from South America.
Yeah, I know.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So the International Monetary Fund, the central banks, the head of that is all there in Sweden.
Okay.
Right? Why would this dictator, world's enemy, be sent off to go to school in Sweden and then come back to rule this opposing country that has really nothing to harm anybody with?
Because it's a much better, probably a better schooling system or something like that.
He was being prepared to be the false enemy of today. Now, here's the thing. I know it's crazy.
But Jesus Christ.
But here's the thing. We're in this reality, right? And I've been here...
Hey, you still never told me who funded his ass going out there. America?
No.
Who funded it?
The International Monetary Fund, the central banks, the people who print the currencies.
Okay. I got you.
The Rothschild family?
Yeah. Okay. So they're the ones that groomed his ass. Yeah.
So the people who own the banks that print all the money took his son and put him under their wing and raised him and then took him back to put them underneath their control, and then us on the world stage think he's bad guy. The worst thing that North Korea could do to us is throw snowballs. That's about all they have an abundance of, right? Snowballs. But for some reason, North Korea has been a threat for a really long time. Now, I have 37 years of this current reality. You have 37 years of this current reality. But the reality's been going on a lot longer than that, right?
Yeah.
That's why I go and look at all the shit they didn't tell us 50 years ago. All the shit they didn't tell us 100 years ago, right? Because the strings that have been creating this reality have been doing it for thousands of years. Now, it's impossible to say that all these people are all on the same page and all have this shit going on. They don't.
Yeah.
But there's people behind all of them that do. Everybody's compartmentalized into this idea that in this reality, you have this amount of time to live.
So hold on. So you think, okay, we're going to go into string theory on this one. So do you think that the International Bank Fund or whatever took care of Kim Jong-un, I don't even, fuck it, the crazy fucker, whatever. And you think that they in this reality, in this norm, in this, I don't know, in this world, do you think they just created that string theory for his ass?
Yeah, so they created his
I mean,
projection.
they're just like corralling his ass. They just keep kind of corralling his ass along, but creating its own string.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
And
all right.
why would they create that string, right? The same reason we had Omar Gaddafi, the same reason we had Saddam Hussein, right? The same reason we had Adolf Hitler, the same reason we had Mussolini, right? There's one thing that has been consistent all throughout history up until now. We've been at war continuously. However, this current administration hasn't drug us into a war, but we were drug into an economic crisis. And usually the answer to solve said economic crisis
Is war.
But what hasn't happened? War.
Yeah.
With who?
Anyway.
North Korea.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Wait, but wait, right before he got elected, we're going to war with North Korea.
They also said the same thing with fucking Hillary, too. Like,
No. Hillary would have drug us into war.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, somebody dragging us into war and then crashing the economy and not allowing Americans to get banks, not allowing them to purchase things, not allowing them to go on with their lives, and dragging us into a war like we were in 2001.
You and I both know we're getting on a fucking tangent. Yeah, no. The reality, we're also talking about some other rando kind of shit on that one. All right, I'm going to put something out there, too, that it's a little tidbit, a little fun fact that I saw. That a priest back in 1890-something saved Hitler from drowning as a kid in a lake.
He did.
So it just like, imagine if Hitler actually did drown. And we never had that. I mean, maybe there would be someone else that would kind of take over. I'm sure. Like, I mean, it may not even been in fucking Germany. It could have been in Poland or somewhere in Central Europe. It could have been more of fucking Russia, or Mussolini really just kind of come. Imagine. And there's even a show on Amazon.
Okay.
If Hitler actually won the war.
Yeah.
I tried to get into it, and the thing that's crazy is Hitler won the war, and America is divided where there's Germany on one side and Japan on the other side because they bombed Pearl Harbor, and then they kind of came up, they joined forces, and then there's two conflicting ways where it just like America is completely taken over by the Gestapo and by I don't know, a Japanese powerhouse. I don't know what they would be really. The Kuzumaki.
Oh, the Yakuza.
Yakuza are the ones that are like controlling shit there too, and it's just like that's fucking crazy to think about that alternate reality if that actually happens. So the butterfly effect. Yeah. And it just
the butterfly effect with Ashton Kutcher, where he lost an arm, lost a hand. Okay.
That was so crazy to think about that.
Let's just say, because that show is on Amazon, that they created that show, that is an actual reality.
Well, that is actually based off someone's book.
Yeah.
Someone wrote that book back in the I think the 80s or something like that. What if? I don't remember.
I forget the name of it too.
Oh, no. And then there was also... No, Butterfly Effect is Isaac Asimov. That's that short story of someone that had a time machine, goes back to steps on a butterfly, and then the next thing you know, when he comes back to America here, that's when Hitler and everything else like completely won the war, like Civil War. No, it started with the Civil War. That's right. It started with the Civil War, and the South completely took over, and the South is the one that's completely controlling America, and then the South is teamed up with fucking Hitler, and it's a crazy short story. I remember reading it back when I was in college or whatever, and it was I would totally look that one up again. I don't remember what the hell it was called, but it was like, whoa, like just the butterfly effect. And that's why it's called the butterfly effect, is because he stepped on that butterfly, and just the course of time, it just sent ripples, it sent waves, and it completely changed what we know now.
So that's all real. What you just said is 100%.
In an alternate reality?
No, well, here's the thing. If enough people, read that book, and that was all the other information that was out there, that's the reality that we would exist in, given the allegory of the cave. Just imagine that you're born in North Korea, under the rule of Kim Jong-un.
That's all you know.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's God. Yeah. The world's only 75 years old. The whole planet's only 75
Do they really think that?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
It's not that they think that. It's that it's been imprinted on them.
Yeah, right? The propaganda.
But here's the thing. The people know better. They're questioning it, right? Now let's just say that they get out of North Korea, right? And the first thing they get is this book on the world that the Nazis won the war, right? Well, if enough people read that not knowing any different, that would be the reality that we're living in, right?
Okay.
The thing about reality is it all comes down to the perceiver, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
every movie that's ever been made, every TV show that's ever been made, every book that's ever been written, those are all real alternate realities.
Okay.
They exist.
I guess I could see what you're getting
Like
at with
Star
this.
Trek with William Shatner, right? Well, William Shatner's Captain Kirk. He will forever and ever and ever and ever he will be Captain Kirk.
Okay.
And Star Trek carries on in that alternate reality, right? Like Gene Roddenberry, the writer of Star Trek, the creator of Star Trek.
Yes.
A lot of these things that we discuss on our show, he went and investigated these things, researched them, hired these people to give him information to help create the show. There's more truth in Star Trek than there is fiction. That reality exists. We haven't overlapped strings yet. Like,
Okay,
it's
all right, I
coming,
can see that.
right? So let's just
can
say
see that.
the only the biggest difference between like us coming out of the World War II and not winning and losing, really, there's so many other factors that came into play besides guns and bombs and funding. It literally was a spiritual war. When you go and look at Hitler, they set up different sets of occult belief, and they scoured the earth looking for the Holy Grail, looking for the Spear of Destiny.
Oh, you did tell me about that. Yeah.
And then I sent you an episode done by the guys on Edge of Wonder where they talk about Hitler and the Spear of Destiny. Well, they start off the story as where, I forget the gentleman's name, he finds this occult book written by this gentleman that's got all these handwritten notes on there, and it was left on a table by Adolf Hitler. And at the time, Adolf Hitler was a poor painter. Before World War I, he was a poor painter in the streets of Paris trying to make it to survive.
Okay.
But he was researching the occult. He was researching Satan. He was researching demonic powers. Would help them rise to the power that they were able to maintain.
I mean, was he a wild, crazy fucker that, just mass genocide and everything else? Yes. I mean, there's not, you can't even split a hair on that one. But it takes a brilliant person to control and to have the brains and the thoughts and just be able to just be able to control an entire fucking nation. That takes a genius motherfucker. That takes a smart motherfucker.
And his name was Goebbels, not Hitler.
Okay, all right.
So there's
it's like Pol Pot. It's
so
just it's like Mussolini or whatever, where they all crazy, where all they fucking just like, I don't know, they have this like goal to just like kill a bunch of people and whatever they were gonna do. That's okay, but it takes a smart motherfucker to do that.
So
Charles Manson, he was a crazy motherfucker. It's brilliant to be able to control that many
Charles
people
Manson was
to
a
do that many
genius.
motherfuckers.
His father was in the government. He was part of the MK Ultra.
That's another story.
It is.
I'm
that's
just,
a whole nother reality.
I'm just saying to be able to, like, what was it? Stalin. That's a smart motherfucker to be able to take an entire country and make them fucking listen, make them do whatever the fuck you want without even questioning it.
But you know where it starts. Starts with education.
Yeah.
Starts with day one.
Yeah.
Starts with education.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's patriotism, right? That's America's all about being patriotic, right?
Yeah.
For America. It's all disillusionment. It's all meaningless. You ever see the movie with Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the second one?
Yeah.
So
it was great.
The main character's dad, we get introduced to his dad, right?
Oh,
Played
the
by,
one that
Kurt
created
Russell.
that created the universe and shit like that. Yeah.
What was his name in that?
I don't remember.
His name's Ego.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
So,
right.
Ego.
That's a hell of an ego to be able to.
So Ego, who is this smooth talking, easy walking, nice car driving, good hair looking, right? was able to swoon this woman, and they created this half alien, half. So he's
half
actually
like God. It wasn't he a god or something?
So he's half God, half human.
Human, yeah.
Boy, the Bible talked about that. They're called Nephilim, but that's a whole nother story, right?
Aren't angels that too?
So the fallen angels came down to earth, and they bred with the human women, and they weren't supposed to. And the creations came out of them are called Nephilim, right? Fallen angels created these what do they call those half gods? Oh, half human, half god.
I'm thinking Minotaur, but I know that's not it. that's the
Maui in Moana. Moana. What did they call him? Hercules also. He was half human, half god. Right? Demigod. Okay.
Yeah.
So half human, half god. Back to where I was going.
I'm just thinking of The Rock singing, "You're welcome."
It's okay. You're welcome.
All right, sorry.
So back to Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So Ego, right? Mm-hmm. Created, and it goes to his planet, and he said, "Oh, how'd you find this planet?"
I created it. Yeah, and it's like all magical and crazy and shit.
So what is the one driving factor of humanity's daily decisions?
I don't know.
Ego.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I want to look good. I want to smell good.
Don't disrespect
I want to be
me.
cool. Like,
Right.
I want to have money. I want to, I want to be dripping in swag.
So, who's feeding the ego of humanity? Not feeding the spirit, the ego. The false idea of who you think you are and what you should be doing. Schrodinger's cat in the box is dancing. Right? So, Schrodinger's cat, who's a dancing, talking, fancy cat that can change colors like the fucking cat in Alice in Wonderland, right?
All right.
Schrodinger's cat is dancing and singing and feeding everybody's ego in the world. The media is feeding everybody's ego. They're not feeding their souls. They're not feeding their spirituality. They're feeding their ego, right?
I'm still okay with that.
But the ego is the creator. Ego created all of it. Ego created his planet and reality, right? They're telling us right in front of us, we are the creators of reality, each one of us.
Okay.
But all of our egos, our false ideas of who we think we are, that we're not good enough, that we're not smart enough, fast enough, all these things that we're not, is what's being fed constantly.
Isn't one of the 7 deadly sins vanity?
Mm-hmm. All
Which
of them.
is kind of
lust,
vanity, greed, sloth, gluttony.
So
they're all kind of egoish.
So the 7 deadly sins, right, are all ego based, and all of those things in this reality are always accepted and encouraged at the forefront. Mm-hmm. Alcohol, fashion, makeup, right? All ego based, none of it spiritually based, none of it to grow your soul, only to shrink your soul and have you either inflate your ego or kill yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless you want to get into the cult-like thing like the Catholic Church, but that's
all ego.
Yeah, that is.
The cult. We talk about, man. They wear the big fish mouth hats. They got the big gold sticks.
You know how I feel about the fucking mafia that is the Catholic Church,
right?
Yes,
but they're also a big controller.
Oh, they're so big
of reality.
Yeah, I could see that. Oh, I could definitely see that.
Praise Jesus! While we literally murdered, raped, and killed our way to the top.
Yeah.
We committed every single sin.
Do you want to go to heaven? Guess what? You got to fucking buy your way into heaven with your soul and your fucking money.
Well, that's the thing is, okay, if you give them all this money and you give them your soul, you never get into heaven, right? Because you believe what they told you. Imagine how many billions of souls.
You know, honestly, you can say MSM all you want, mainstream media, but I think the biggest influencer on people is the goddamn Catholic Church.
I would say yes.
I would put them at least number 2.
Okay, okay. Politics, religion. Those are the we can't discuss
separation of church and state. Yeah, as you can't see it, but I'm jerking off right now.
Yeah,
okay,
they're not separate.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not separate. They go hand in hand like lamb and tuna fish.
Okay, so I would tell you that the Catholic Church or religion has much more of an influence on reality, except most people only go one day a week. Well, now the other 6 days plus the 7th day that they're not in that 1 hour for church.
Yeah.
They're consuming all the rest of mainstream media, of newspapers, of magazines, of social media.
Yeah.
All of it's there. It's what's formally influencing their lives. It's what makes their choices, right? I need to go out and buy this. Why? Because I do.
I mean, that at the same time, that is a little bit more of a first world thing. Because say you go down to, I mean, I don't want to downgrade any country or
There's
whatever.
no downgrade.
But like,
There's first world and third world countries.
I mean, okay, say you go to like Vietnam or whatever. They're hardcore Catholic too, aren't they? Or Christian or something
Catholic.
like. They're Catholic or they're Christian. Okay,
They're Catholic.
I mean, they got Vietnamese Jesus and shit like that up there and everything else. They're probably not. They're probably not watching TV all the time. Maybe they catch the news and this and that and everything else. But they still have in the back of their mind, it's just like, oh no, I better do right or else I'm never going to make it into fucking heaven. You know, like, I mean, so they're influenced by that too.
So who implanted and why
the
did
Catholic Church?
No.
The nuns, the priests, the people that colonize and try to take these savages and turn them into God-fearing people.
I never went to any formal church growing up as a child.
Yeah.
But I always heard about this place called hell.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. That is true.
Okay, I always heard about this place called hell and this thing with big horns and a long tail.
Yeah, you're going into a fire pit and shit like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That exists just as much as the fucking boogeyman exists.
Okay.
Now, the boogeyman exists only if you believe it exists.
Okay, that is true. That is
Now,
true.
here's the power of creation reality. I know that the boogeyman doesn't exist in my reality. I know that there's a boogeyman that's out there.
Fucking A right there is. Yeah.
Ghosts are real. Spirits are real.
I just meant dirty, nasty, fucking shitty people out there. I consider them a little bit more of the boogeyman. You know, like, we're not going to get into this, but like trafficking and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean,
no, the boogeyman exists.
Those are the boogeyman.
Here's the thing: is the same people that told you don't do that or you're going to hell are the same people that say go ahead and do whatever the fuck we tell you. We're the same ones that own the courthouses, the jails, the television, everything else. So the same people who are telling you if you do this, you're going to hell. Are the same people that are trafficking and doing all this other horrible shit.
It's
to
totally
humanity.
do as I say, not as I do.
And it's all coming through Schrodinger's cat in the box.
No, because most of that shit, you don't really hear about that on the daily on that one. It's more like this is behind the scenes and we all know it's fucking happening.
Right?
Kind of deal. Yeah.
Now, why isn't Schrodinger's cat singing and dancing all about the human trafficking? There was, 39 missing children recovered in Chicago yesterday.
No, I don't even know about that. Yeah.
All I know is...
That's not on MSN.
All I know is if a kid that falls down in the well that takes 12 hours to save captures national news.
Yeah.
A kid that mistakenly falls down a well and it takes him 12 hours to get out captures national news on every news station.
What about the dude that got shot in the fucking back 7 times by a cop and everything
that
else?
makes news on every station.
That's a BLM right there.
But 39 children who were missing,
Nope, not gonna
you
make
didn't
it.
hear anything about.
Nope, I didn't hear anything about
Why
it.
didn't they tell you?
I don't know.
That's what you need to be asking is these people who are helping to create and paint the reality that you're existing aren't telling you everything.
Yeah, that's true.
They're only telling you specific things they want you to believe for their reality.
Yeah. No, they're guiding me. They're corralling me on that
Yeah,
one.
it's like Biden's been in government 47 years. He's going to get it right on the 48th one? He's been there for almost 50 years, and our country has only progressively gotten worse.
We're not getting into politics.
We're not. I'm just saying, the people who have kept him in there for 47 years would love for him to get back in there so they can go back to running their status quo. Everything's fine. Don't worry about the children. That's the reality that's trying to be painted on humanity. So much far as we have alien technology, we didn't rescue 39 kids yesterday that were missing, that now go home to their mothers and fathers and get reunited and are no longer having horrible things happen to them. That reality exists in our world.
No, I know.
So
I do not deny it. I do not deny it whatsoever.
we, as humanity, need to accept that it's there and not allow it anymore. Just because it's the Schrodinger's cat's not telling us about it, just because it's not on his hat and his apron, and hey, we saved all these kids from human trafficking, and it ties back to these specific individuals who we won't even need to begin to name, because when they do begin to name, it's really going to harm everybody's ego. The death of the ego is what humanity is getting ready to step into. Right? The death of the idea of who we think we are in this place is all going to be murdered. All at the same time. And it's going to be fucking crazy. So the idea of alternate realities is a good thing, because there's an alternate reality to the one that we're experiencing that we should have already gotten 100 years ago that we still haven't gotten. Like, we've had free energy and wireless energy
for
Tesla
over
100 years.
Else, yeah.
They shut his ass up. They shunned him from the elite society
Yep.
because he was going to take away their money. He was going to take away their power and control over humanity.
Yeah.
And they let him die in a hotel room.
Oh, I know.
Now, here's the craziest part of realities. And this is why I asked you the other night, who's Donald Trump's uncle? Fuck if I know. He died. That was his brother.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's uncle went to MIT, worked at the FBI, and was the first person in Nikola Tesla's hotel room when he died. So the person who figured out how to travel through time, figured out time travel, figured out how to communicate to things beyond our perception in the 1800s, the man who's now president, his uncle, got those documents first.
I think his uncle got the documents first and also killed his ass. But
no, he was old.
Who knows?
He was really, really old.
Oh.
He was old and poor and decrepit and living.
Nikola Tesla?
Yes.
Oh.
They left him penniless to die in a hotel.
Oh, see, I thought he was like 50s, 60s.
He was like seven. He was older. Let's see. Let's look it up. We have the internet in front of us. No, like Nikola Tesla figured out how to do all of it.
No, I know he did. I thought he got popped out or fucking taken out when he was like in his 50s or 60s or something like that.
No, man. Like, this person who came from third world country Europe.
86, damn.
He was born in 1856. He died in 1943. This man figured out wireless electricity and free energy.
Yeah.
And went to J.P. Morgan Chase, who financed him to build the first wireless energy tower in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Nikola Tesla told him, oh, this is for radio broadcasting, because they didn't have radios yet, right? But instead of building the radio, which he already had the patents for, Marconi just took his patents and put all the pieces together. He didn't invent the radio. Tesla did. He already had the patents for all the parts and pieces. He said, fuck the radio. I'm going to figure out free energy, right? So he built this giant tower that had a rod that went down into the ground, and he could relay electricity all for miles, lighting up light bulbs in the early 1900s. And J.P. Morgan Chase found out about it. And they bankrupted him.
Yeah.
So, again,
Fucked
the
up.
same people that are telling you everything's hunky-dory and hate Orange Man bad are the same people who own the news stations today. The same people that kept us from free energy, kept us from indentured slavery, kept us from war. We would have never had to go to war in the Middle East for oil, for any of that. Those are the same people that still control reality today. Rockefeller, the universities, the medical system.
I know.
But
I know all these people.
How do you question that this reality? How do you not question this reality when you say you know this information? Like, it's all good to hate this idiot, but I'm going to trust you, the same people who killed the man who would have taken humanity out of slavery globally. Nobody would be a slave. Nobody would be a slave. Nobody would be driving in a car. Nobody would be flying in a plane. Like, the shit that's been kept from us for 100 years is on the cusp of coming out, right? Rockefeller now pulled from oil. Warren Buffett, right? He pulled from all the airlines. The people who invest and control all these things are pulling all their money out of it. And then a few months later, what happens? Oh, we have alien technology in our possession, not of this earth. Oh shit! Holy fuck! So you're telling me we got free energy, we got anti-gravity, and we don't need to pay at the pump, we don't need to kill anybody, and all of that was a complete useless waste of human time? Holy fuck, that's a big pill to swallow, isn't it? That's a big fucking horse pill to swallow. But here's the craziest thing is, it's right in front of everybody. They just refuse to go look at it.
I don't even care.
You don't want free energy?
I don't even care. Like, I mean, you talk about this shit all the time and everything else, and it's just like, so I'm being influenced, so this, so that, and everything else. You're the one that wants to dive deep in this fucking rabbit hole and everything else. I don't really give a shit. I don't have time to give a shit about this. That is like, that is your thing.
The
that,
alternate reality of long hair Fabio Dan.
No. I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's on a different planet, that a different galaxy, different whatever, that I'm never going to see. But I think it could be there.
What do you mean you won't see
So, we're going to end this show on what do you want, or what do you think would be the ideal John in your alternate reality?
What would be the ideal John in the alternate
that
reality?
You hope that's just out there. Or maybe by you actually putting this out there and saying this on this podcast, that he just got created, or she got
or Johanna.
Yeah.
Jonna.
Like, what do you see? I mean, a wife, single, kids. Like, I mean, where do you live? What do you do?
If I were to experience an alternate reality, it would be as an observer. I would go in and experience all the other lives and possibilities that are currently taking place from the outside looking in without them knowing, right? To observe reality. I would like to go to a portion of the galaxy where a new planet is being formed and observe the formation of a planet, of a galaxy, right? I want to observe things from the outside looking in, not the inside looking out.
And then you would probably want to go to like another planet or another galaxy or whatever, where it's just like old. Like they got everything fucking figured out. They've been doing this for
ancient
centuries.
Oh, billions of years.
Billions of years. They're so advanced and everything. That would be pretty cool to see. I guess I could see that. Oh, I'm sure it does. I do not deny that whatsoever. I don't know. I think I'm a little bit more simplistic on this one. So, I'm happy with certain things. I'm happily married. I'm happy with my kid and everything else. So, I would want to be in a different world. I don't know, like a fisherman. I think I'd be happy. Just like, I mean, I don't have to worry about money or anything like that, but just go out there every day on my boat, whether it's, awesome or not, and just go out there and hang out on that one. And then, I don't know.
So you want to be like Lieutenant Dan?
Kind of, yeah.
With
just
legs?
like, yeah, just kind of like traveling. Okay. So it'd be more like I'm on a yacht, and I just travel that entire world all the time. Like, I post up at this country or this port or whatever, and check some shit out for there a little bit, and then go to another one, and just kind of do that.
So you just want to experience reality,
yeah,
but not be like, you don't want to be the nuts and bolts of the operation. You want to be outside of the operation, experiencing it, right?
Yeah.
But in the flesh with a yacht.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm happy with.
I like what you're going with though. That would be really cool. It's like you got your own little John spaceship.
No, not even that.
And you can travel anywhere, any galaxy. Be there in seconds. Do this. Take your time or not take your time, and like be like, you've experienced, suns or stars. You've experienced 10,000 of them, and you're like, that one was pretty cool. That galaxy, just looking at, you're like, that one's pretty cool. And then you go zoom in and check some shit out and see what's going on with any of those places. I like that. I think that's kind of cool.
I think I've done the Earth thing enough times that, again, reality, alternate universes, perceptions of reality in alternate universes, technology to perceive alternate realities and universes, quantum computers can access alternate realities in computers. It was on the fucking Chelsea Handler show. That's how forefront this next reality is coming for us. Like, there's going to be people who want to hold on to the nuts and bolts of fucking getting in the car and going to work every day, and there's going to be everybody else who says, fuck that, there's more.
Yeah.
Right? And based off of everything we've experienced thus far, from fucking payphones and old beer cars that put out big clouds of smoke, and the fact that certain things haven't yet evolved, but other aspects have tremendously evolved.
Yeah.
There are multiple strings that are all coming into one.
Yeah.
And all of those are valid. All of those are real. All of those exist. However, they're going to be really refined and drawn down into one consecutive flowing string, I think, for a while.
I think so too.
I think a great show on alternate realities and universes.
Yeah, I think this is a long one. I don't know if we can divide it up into two, but...
I'll do my best. I'll try and edit it.
Alright, we'll see what we can do, but... yeah.
Awesome.
Until, I guess, next time. I don't know what our next topic is, but we'll figure that one out.
We'll figure out our next topic, and until then, I'm Juan-aconda.
And I'm D-Train.
Y'all stay safe, and make sure to mask or not mask up. Look at that. Perfect timing.